Hi everyone, today I'm going to be talking about my final presentation project, and I decided to do the OmniVR virtual reality rehabilitation system. And this is a system that is for aging adults, and I'm sure you've all seen the Wii or other virtual reality type programs utilized in senior nursing care facilities, as well as different rehabilitation hospitals. And so this is it's taken that concept and that idea and made it specifically designed for the use with rehabilitation. And I do have a PowerPoint that I'm going to be using for the video portion of my presentation. So if you'd like to use that to follow along, feel free to do that. And so I mentioned it was the first virtual rehabilitation system for aging adults. That's what this system is claiming, the makers of the system, which is Accelerated Care Plus, and it's very new. It uses advanced 3D cameras to track movements, so there's no need for hand controllers or mats or special platforms or anything like that. It's very easy to use, easy to set up by the therapist, easy to use for the patients. They're basically just using their bodies and their movements in order to do exercise programs and different activities. And it does accommodate the need for different medically complex patients, so someone that may be in a wheelchair or not able to move as much, it still will pick up the different movements that they are making. And on the first slide, I do have a video that shows it. I was really hoping to get my hands on one of these systems so that I could show you in real time, how it works and everything. But the representative from ACP would not lend me one, so I apologize for that. But there are some great videos on their website and other things that I was able to find in my research. So I did put one of those videos in there. It's basically just showing an older gentleman using it, and it's I think it was a Fox News telecast where they had a story on the OmniVR, so that might be helpful to check out if you'd like. The different diagnostic groups that can utilize this program are people with CVAs, people with traumatic brain injuries, general debility, people that need to gain strength and endurance, muscle weakness, those with imbalance, neurodegenerative conditions, cognitive impairments, people with dementia, and people that need to focus on wheelchair mobility. And so basically, the program has 6 different offerings. On my third slide here, the first one is balance. Gait training is the second one. Wheelchair mobility is the next one. And they also have seated exercises, upper extremity exercises, leg exercises, and of course they do have cognitive activities on this computer program. To continue that, the different protocols that are included in the exercises, they mainly target the large muscle groups. Excuse me. And so I have some of those right here. They include different leaning, knee extension, flexion, reaching, sit to stand, squatting, and stepping and marching. And for the program, they do have adjustable parameters for all of these exercises, so it's very patient specific, so you can really put in what their needs are and how much that they can do themselves and how much you can challenge it. They're able to change the difficulty and the visual stimuli for each person's specific abilities, and it can accommodate for patients that want to do an exercise alone, or they also have a program where you can do a large group of individuals, so that can help with enhancing social participation if they have a goal for that, for interaction or participating in a group activity. some of the other exercises, they do have the seated ones, which I talked about. The patients can reach with their arms, move their legs, and lean in multiple different directions. And for wheelchair control, these are controlled by the patients so that they maneuver their wheelchair in different directions. And they also have walking exercises. I mentioned marching in place. They have walk along a pathway, moving right to left, and to avoid obstacles and to step over objects. So the virtual reality of it is it's made very fun, but it's very simple too. That's something that was pointed out again and again when I was researching this, that a lot of the games that are out there now in the programming systems tend to have very complex graphics and things that maybe the older adults have a hard time following. And this program is very basic, very simple, and a lot of the visuals are very easy to understand for an older population. And the cognitive exercises are interesting. They focus on different cognitive abilities and memory training, things like grocery shopping or cooking and lots of things like that. And the balance exercises help engage the ankle, the hips, and stepping strategies. So of course a lot of that could be used with a physical therapist. And they do have upper extremity exercises, which are performed by reaching with one or both upper extremities in a variety of tasks or exercises. So some of the benefits for this system for therapists include that it provides skilled therapy exercises and activity programs for, like I said, of course, OTs, PTs, and speech therapists can utilize this program. It makes the whole therapy process more fun. It's more interesting compared to just doing, a machine workout or weightlifting or other repetitive exercises. It may increase the motivation for the therapist patient to exercise, which would support better outcomes. It's very easy to set up, like I've mentioned. Provides objective performance data after each session. And the patients, the research shows that they're highly engaged to participate in virtual reality types of activities. So this could improve the motivation to exercise, participation, and the length of time that they'll be doing the exercise. The patients are having fun. They're likely, they're more likely to push beyond their boundaries and complete some of their goals that they would like. And a lot of the skills learned while using this system or other virtual reality can be generalized into the real world. So it's something that they can do, and kind of translate into functional activities that they may need to be working on in real life. And the research also suggests that when virtual reality exercises are combined with the traditional therapy techniques, outcomes may be enhanced. So that's promising. It's not something that would be a standalone therapy, but when it's paired with therapy, it's very, very promising and shows good outcomes. So this program has a great, some great tests and measurements right in the system. It does have, 3 objective measurement tests. The first one is timed up and go test, the tug test, and another one is a sit to stand, and the third one is the functional reach test. So these are all things that can be assessed using the program, and the therapist can then take the data from those assessments and create different goals and treatment plans for balance, for strengthening, for cognition, and participation in activities. So it's really nice that they have that built in right in there. And the system also comes with a printer, so you can get a performance summary printed out. And it's done at the end of each exercise program, so the therapist can constantly be changing the goals, making things easier or harder for the patient, depending on what their needs are. So that's very helpful too. And this will help them track the progress and make adjustments as necessary. And also help with documentation and improving, to the insurance that there is a progress and there is a need and a reason for using this type of therapy with the patient. Now the manufacturer of this program, I think I mentioned it earlier, is ACP, which is Accelerated Care Plus. And I think you've probably seen this company maybe at different places before. I've seen it at Crestview Heartland, the skilled nursing facility that I was at. They had the program that did eSTIM, TENS, and they didn't have this program yet because it is fairly new, but they were in talks to discuss it with one of the providers of that. They were coming around to show them that. So they may be getting it soon. They do not sell it. The representative had told me that they do lease it out per month. Since it is so new, they haven't really sold any units, but they lease it out for $6.95 per month. And that includes the metal stand, a big 42-inch screen, LCD TV screen, the whole computer unit, the 3D time of flight camera, the software package, a mouse and remote control, which is used by the therapist to get the person set up, but it's not necessarily used, throughout, because the movements are all tracked just from the camera, from the patient. And of course the laser printer. And all this cost is absorbed by the facility. They need to purchase and pay for that. And then insurance will cover the use of this program as just like any other therapy exercise program that they may be doing with the patient. And the goal, of course, is to become functionally independent in the ADLs, IADLs, and mobility by increasing strength, improving balance, and cognition. So next I have some evidence-based practice. And of course, there wasn't any direct research talking about this particular system, but there was a lot, referring to virtual reality programs and the use with those with traumatic brain injury, those with CVAs. I saw a lot of that, and with older adults as well, to improve strength and endurance and everything like that. But there was a lot in just supporting, the use of this with patients, with older adults. So that was really good, but there does need to be more done on this program itself, the OmniVR. But I did find some things about the research saying that when it's completed when therapy is created in a virtual environment, it can create a positive reinforcement for the patients. And then a virtuous cycle is a cycle where clients receive positive feedback in interactive environments, and this can make them feel an increased sense of motivation, and it will encourage them to perform more exercises and to possibly surpass their previous performance. And the theories that I put together for this were the frames of reference that I used. Biomechanical, I thought, of course, that was definitely something that this system fit into, and also the rehabilitative system. And I do have a lot of references listed here on my PowerPoint, so feel free to check those out if you want some light reading. But I'm sorry, guys, that I went over some, but I'm all finished, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to go on discussion board and ask them. And thanks for watching my video. Talk to you later. Bye.